What's up, guys? It's your girl Mari Taylor, also known as Sheba Israel Win on Facebook, and I wanted to come with a short story about what I just read in Judges 7. This topic is going to be on faith. I know that a lot of us usually don't have faith in situations. In other situations, we do have faith. But I wanted to remind us to have all faith in God in all situations. And sometimes it's harder than others, but I just want to share a story. First, I would like to read other scriptures out of the Bible, such as Hebrews 1. Now, faith is a substance of things hoped for, and evidence of things not seen. Also, Matthew 21 and 22. In all things, whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing, ye shall receive. Hebrews 11 and 6. But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Luke 1 and 37. For with God nothing shall be impossible. 1 Corinthians 2 and 5. That your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God. Proverbs 3, 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Okay, so we're going to get right into Judges 7. This is when Gideon received the Spirit of the Lord to deliver Israel out of Midian's hand. Israel was being a whore, okay? They decided, we don't need God anymore. We want to go into these gods. We want to worship with these people. And so the Lord put us in the hands of another nation. We were in the hands of the Midianites for 7 long years. Sounds very short because, we've been in the hand of many other nations for 40 years and 400 and all of that. But any time away from the Lord is very long. So he went to go and try to prove the Lord by a simple ask of, hey, Lord, I'm going to put a fleece of wool on the ground in the grass. And after that, I would love to see dew on just the fleece and not the ground. Here in Judges 6 and 38, he rose up early and he seen that the fleece was full of dew or water, and he rang it in a bowl, and the bowl was full of water, but the ground was dry. Now in 39, he decides to ask the Lord again, just to prove that I'm not, thinking on my own, that I'm not working on my own, that I don't think that I have power on my own. I want to make sure that I'm dealing with the Lord God of Israel, and that you will be delivering this into mine hand. Please put the dew upon the ground, but not the fleece this time. So he woke up that morning, and the Lord did exactly as he asked, and he put the dew upon the ground, but the fleece was completely dry. So he knew for a fact that he was working with the Lord God of Israel, and that the Midianites will be delivered into his hands. Judges 7 showed me, if anybody else, it showed me that the Lord can use a small amount to get a lot done, because Gideon started out with 32,000 men ready for war. But the Lord was like, nope, this people always makes it about their own might, their own power. So I'm going to get rid of some of these people. They need to go home and, whatever, get some sleep or eat, go to your wife. But it won't be in your own power. So the Lord in verse 3, he said, whoever is fearful, whoever is afraid, whoever is scary-hearted, tell them go home. Tell them get some sleep, go eat, whatever. Just, you can't fight in this war. So 22,000 left, and it remains 10,000. And so after that, he said, okay, there's still too many people. I don't want it to be this amount. So we're going to do another test. He had his men to go down to the water to go drink some water, and if someone lapped like a dog in his hand to get some water, or if they bow down on their knees to get some water, he would know which to pick. 300 men decided to lap with their tongue like a dog, and he picked 300 men over the rest. So he said, everybody else go home. I'm going to keep the 300 men. This is who we're going to fight with. Now, when Gideon went down, they seen how the Midianites was beneath them. But he seen how these people were like a multitude. It was like the sand of the sea. So many of them compared to them. And the Lord said, you know what? If you don't have any faith, if you're fearful, go down with your servant and hear what the men have to say. When he went down with his servant, one of the men spoke on his dream. And I'm going to actually read this part. So Judges 7, and look, this makes me happy. But Judges 7 and 13. And when Gideon was come, behold, there was a man that told a dream unto his fellow, and said, behold, I dreamed a dream, and lo, a cake of barley bread tumbled into the host of Midian, and came unto a tent, and smote it that it fell, and overturned it that the tent lay alone. And his fellow answered and said, this is nothing else save the sword of Gideon, the son of Joash, a man of Israel. So this was the interpretation of his dream. For unto his hand hath God delivered Midian into all the host. Okay, so 15 is what really drove me to want to go ahead and post to y'all. And it was so, 15, when Gideon heard the telling of the dream and the interpretation thereof, that he worshipped and returned unto the host of Israel and said, arise, for the Lord hath delivered into your hands the host of Midian. Now, the reason why I'm so happy about this story is because we know that there are discernment situations where you should not listen to people who are saying, oh, I have a dream. Because they are simply trying to drive you away from the word of the Lord, what he has already said in stone, what he has already said. But this man speaks on a barley bread coming in and smiting the tents of Midian. Now, guys, don't we know who the bread of life is? It's the Lord. The Lord is with Gideon and all of his host. And so it takes a little bit extra for some of us to have faith. But soon as he heard that story, that dream, and the interpretation, he said, you know what? Let's get him. And I just wanted to remind you, have faith. The Lord is with you, especially when you're keeping his commandments. First of all, I didn't even speak on how he had to destroy a temple of Baal, of Satan, that they were having. In the midst of them, just worshiping it. The Lord said, throw that down, build me an altar, and then we can work with this. When people are sharing their dreams, you have to have discernment on who they're speaking on, Satan or the Lord's will. Because Satan will say, oh yeah, you're getting a car or something, whatever. Or this is your time because I had a dream. But God is going to speak on the same thing he's already said. But he's going to have it to where you can see it better. Because no bread was going to drop out of the sky and roll around some tents. We know that bread was God. He was going to fight with them. He used 300 people to fight a multitude of people that could not be numbered. And all it took was a little bit of faith. This guy had a dream from the Lord. And all he said was, hey, whatever he told you is what is going to happen. And look, I had a dream about, some faith that I had to stand on. That had to do with my son. The Lord gives life and he taketh away. He gives a son or a daughter. And guess what? I got my son. So stand on your faith. If God told you something and you can read it right there, right here, then it's right. Then it's real. And stand on it. Don't let nobody take that from you. If he said he gonna feed his children, he gonna feed his children. If he said he's going to take care of you and provide for you, protect you, correct you, he's gonna do that too. If he said he is going to be here for you if you do something, then that if needs to be met. And last but not least, we cannot please God unless we believe him. Don't believe in no man. If God didn't say it, it's not real. Peace. Love.